From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at 6.
Communities all across southern Wisconsin are dealing with flooding right now.
Record flooding is expected in Lafayette and Columbia counties. Dozens of highways around the region have been closed, and with more rain on the way, rivers are expected to rise through the weekend.
We have live team coverage of the flooding in our area. Our crews are in places such as Lodi and Darlington.
But first, we start with Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti, who joins us in the First Alert Weather Center. Gary?
Eric, it was an interesting day today. We actually had some sunshine this morning and early this afternoon that made the atmosphere more unstable, and we had a line of thunderstorms that rolled on through because of that. As we take a look at visible cloud track, you can see how that clearing worked its way through Illinois into southern Wisconsin, and then a line of thunderstorms developed right on the front edge of it. But now it's the colder clouds coming in from the southwest as the cold air wraps around the storm system, which is now centered in northern Wisconsin. So the showers have moved off to our north and to our east. Still a few light showers continuing across parts of southern Wisconsin. They might even mix with a few flakes of snow before ending later on tonight or early tomorrow morning. Flood watch remains in effect until 7 a.m. tomorrow for all of southern Wisconsin, mainly for snow melt and any additional precipitation. High temperatures were in the upper 50s to around 60 degrees. Madison topped out at 59, but Janesville was as warm as 64 degrees before the front came through. Look where temperatures are now. We're down 20 degrees from the high temperature for the day, and temperatures are mainly in the 30s now to our south and to our west. By tomorrow morning, look for temperatures to be down into the middle 30s. Again, those rain showers could mix with a few flakes of snow before ending by early tomorrow morning. Tomorrow will be a windy and colder day with a high temperature of 39, but at least dry weather is in the forecast beginning this weekend and lasting through much of next week. That's your News 3 Now First Alert forecast.
All right, Gary, thank you. In Darlington, the Pecatonica River is reaching its highest stages in 25 years, forcing businesses along Main Street now to evacuate.
Adam Dexter joins us from there with the latest on just how high the water is getting. Adam.
Well, Eric and Charlotte, I'm on Main Street in downtown Darlington, where the sun is starting to go down, but the water level continues to rise. The Pecatonica River up 13 feet over the last 48 hours, reaching a total height of 17 feet in the major flooding stages. And it doesn't matter if you're looking down Main Street, where we can still see them continue to evacuate, or if you're looking down Ann Street, right next door. This water is completely surrounding these buildings. And again, that 17 feet, the worst flooding they've seen here since the early 1990s, when a flood total reached 18 feet. And of course, that flooding forced downtown to completely rethink the way they approach flooding. In fact, a lot of these businesses down here on Main Street have a separate lower level lined with tile or concrete that they clear out specifically for times like this. And Police Chief Jason King said the one good thing about this storm, if there was one good thing, is that it's not a flash flood. This has happened over a slow amount of time.
The nice thing about this, if there is such a thing as a nice thing about this flood, is that it's not flash flooding. It's slowly going up, which means that we have time to respond and to get people where they need to be and get businesses and residents prepared and ready to evacuate if need be. But at this point, we haven't had to do much of that.
And again, you heard Chief King say that we are now close to 17 feet at that water level here along the Pecatonica River, with the highest it's been in nearly a quarter century. We will continue to monitor this water level down here in downtown Darlington, as it looks like things could keep getting worse here.
Adam Dexter reporting tonight. Adam, thank you. The power and gas will likely be shut off all night in downtown Lodi after flooding led to significant natural gas leaks earlier today. Officials say any natural gas impacts will be minimal, but high water levels remain a concern.
Our Rose Schmidt shows us some of the worst of it. Rose?
That's right. So snowmelt and ice are causing this rushing water you see here at Spring Creek Park. Now that water has nowhere to go because of ice dams downstream. And at this time, Lodi police are still asking people to avoid the city if they can, as first responders deal with this flooding and the natural gas issues that happened earlier today.
We have not seen this, I think, since the early 1900s.
As Spring Creek reaches a record height,
I have never seen the flooding this bad in the creek in my life, and I grew up here.
business owners in downtown Lodi brace for rising water and full basements.
I just started cleaning out the basement, knowing the water level kept coming up about a foot every hour.
Bob Peterson owns the floral and gift shop and a cable business on South Main Street. He was able to get most of the expensive equipment out, but not everything.
There's probably another 50, 60,000 worth of flower shop merchandise, Christmas merchandise that started coming in.
As Bob was showing us the bottom floor of his building,
When you smell the gas, that's the
we started to smell a very strong natural gas scent. Minutes later, first responders were called to South Main Street.
When we got out of the store, you could smell it a lot.
Not in the store.
Yeah.
Evacuating all the businesses and homes downtown for a few hours.
They wanted everybody to come down to this corner.
In the basements of some of the businesses and the residences are filling up with water, and what that's caused is the furnaces to go out. And when you have natural gas pumping gas into those furnaces, the furnaces are doing their job by evacuating the gas throughout the house, out through the exhaust.
The police chief says after the significant gas leaks, the power and the gas was quickly turned off. And a few hours later, business owners could go back inside. While it caused quite a nightmare, the chief notes it could have been much worse.
Right now, we have no injuries, nobody's been hurt, there's been nothing, it's just property damage right now. We want to keep it that way.
While Bob has some property damage of his own, he says he did what he could.
It's devastating. You know, what are you going to do? You know, you just got to deal with it, unfortunately.
Lodi police are still asking for volunteers to help them sandbag. They're doing that over at the city's utility building on Water Street. And if your home or business has been impacted by this flooding and you have nowhere to go, you are able to go to the American Red Cross's temporary shelter that was set up over at Lodi Elementary School. Back to you.
Quite the scene in downtown Lodi. Rose Schmidt live tonight. Rose, thank you.
Flooding is also impacting Dane County. This was the scene in Paoli this morning. The Sugar River continues to rise, which has part of Highway 69 just north of Paoli closed. Highway 69 is not the only road closed. There are dozens through the region, including many near the Wisconsin River. We have a list of these closures online at channel3000.com. Several counties in our area are opening sandbag stations for residents. Rock, Columbia, and Adams counties are all offering sandbags along with individual communities in these counties. Be sure to check your city's website to see what the plans are regarding sandbags.
High water is also causing concern in Edgerton. Amy Reed joins us now from one of the spots that's looking the worst right now. Amy?
Yeah, this is Central Park right in the middle of Edgerton. You can see it's almost completely covered in water, and this is all stemming from Saunders Creek over there that runs right alongside the park. It's gone over the edges of the bank and has come right up to Central Lutheran Church. Earlier today, the church called for volunteers to help sandbag to keep the water out, and within just an hour or so, it was done. Water is still creeping up a little too close for comfort, and it's flooded Main Street, so crews have closed that off. People we've talked to here said they haven't seen anything like this in years. Coming up tonight, News 3 Now at 10, we'll talk with some of those people that are most affected by this water.
All right, Amy Reed live in Edgerton tonight. Amy, thank you.
And here's a live look at Lake Mendota in Madison. Levels on Mendota and Lake Monona have not risen to hazardous levels and are not expected to. Right now, crews are monitoring some roads in low-lying areas, and they are also working to clear the city's 20,000 storm drains so melting snow can run off the roads. Residents are being asked to check the storm drains and clear them of any snow and ice.
But one family outside of Fort Atkinson says the Wisconsin Department of Transportation is entirely to blame for their flooding. Doreen and Brian Marms have lived in their home for nearly 30 years. Brian says their property never flooded until a DOT road project in 2012, claiming the expansion of Highway 26 increased runoff, and because of inadequate draining, all of the water floods right into his property. He says he has contacted the DOT many times in the past, most recently today, but he says nothing has changed.
I think I talked to 4 different people, 2 this morning, and they all said they'll get back to me. I think I talked to 2 of them, different ones yesterday. I kept getting different names. They sent me to somebody else. They all said they'd get back to me. None of them did, you know. So, yeah, they don't care.
A DOT spokesperson tells News 3 Now in a statement, quote, the highway was designed and constructed to meet current standards. Widespread flooding in the area has corresponded with extreme weather events.
Other parts of the state are also dealing with flooding today. This is the scene in Brown County, Wisconsin. The County Communications Center says many roads in the county are closed. In Green Bay, several roads along the East River have been closed due to the high water. We'll get another update on the conditions outside during our first alert forecast. We're back with more news in just 2 minutes. Fitchburg police are releasing a sketch of a man accused of attacking a woman in a gym parking lot. Police say that this assault happened on March 5th at the Princeton Club just off McKee Road. Officers say the man pushed the victim into her car and punched her several times. He allegedly ran away when she started to scream. Anyone with information is asked to call Fitchburg Police or Madison Area Crime Stoppers. Police are also still looking for a missing 2-year-old girl from Milwaukee. They believe Noelani Robinson could be in Minnesota or Michigan. Her father, Darius Higgins, was arrested yesterday, accused of killing her mom. The FBI is now involved in the search for Noelani, and people are encouraged to share her photo on social media.
A 3-year-old girl is turning heads at a gymnastics center in Arena. Jamie Perez shares why doctors are impressed with her strength and mobility.
Mommy, follow me. Cora Shelton is more than just a cute little girl who loves gymnastics.
Tell me what you like about gymnastics.
Everything. Her ability to move so quickly with such grace is something no one expected she would be able to do.
Cora has a genetic disease where her kidney actually leaks phosphorus.
Cora has a rare bone disease.
So it was obvious to everyone who saw her walk in the clinic that she was super bow-legged. You could see it from across the room.
Doctors call it XLH, something Cora had been diagnosed with when she was 1 year old.
We didn't really know what to think. There was a lot of Googling, and there's not a lot out there about XLH because it's so rare.
So rare that only 4 out of every 100,000 people have it. It causes short stature, the inability to run, and limping when walking. It's why seeing Cora stick the landing is the biggest win of all.
It wasn't that long ago that she wasn't able to run. She wasn't able to do stairs on her own. And now she is running on a balance beam, bouncing on a trampoline, doing cartwheels and stuff in such a short amount of time. It's mind-blowing and so exciting.
Cora was given a drug that was newly approved by the FDA last year to help her avoid these symptoms as she grows up.
At first it's scary, you know, any parent to put your kid on a new medication that just became FDA approved.
She was actually one of the first people that started on the medication, so she's really kind of our test subject.
No one knows exactly how this will help her as she grows older, but doctors suspect this disease won't have the same grip on her as it does with others.
She loves it. She would do gymnastics all day, every day.
The high bar and drop like a feather?
Yeah.
Or a rock? Would you want to be a feather or a rock?
A unicorn.
A unicorn, me too.
The only thing she has to tumble with.
Oh, boom. She did it. Yay!
She will be on this medication now for the rest of her life.
Twice a month until she's 18, then once a month after that.
Good girl, give me 10.
But everyone around her says that's a small obstacle when you think about how many steps forward she's already made.
To see her do that well within a year is exciting.
Yeah. You got a big smile. Are you smiling?
In Arena.
Good girl.
Jamie Perez, News 3 Now.
Doctors say they are following Cora's journey to see how this new drug will impact her in the years to come.
You've probably heard of people using GoFundMe accounts or Facebook groups to raise support for good deeds. A woman in Richland Center is going above and beyond to help her neighbors when they need it most. Jennifer Johnson moved to Richland Center 3 years ago. As a way to branch out, she started a Facebook group called Giving Back. That group grew to more than 1,000 people in just a month. She now uses it to help victims of fires, give maternity clothes to mothers in need, and much, much more. She says spreading kindness is something she's always done to set a good example for her kids.
This is something that we've done for years, and I really wanted to implement that into my children, knowing that it's not just about, you know, myself and my family, it's about giving to others.
Tonight, only on News 3 at 10, you'll hear more of Jennifer's story and how she is growing hope for people.
Parts of southern Wisconsin remain under a flood watch until tomorrow.
Gary has an update on the flooding in our area next in his first alert forecast. Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti joins us now, and boy, there's a lot of flooding going on.
Yeah, fortunately, most of the heavier rain threat is gone now. We did actually had a line of thunderstorms that rolled through that brought the potential for some severe weather. What happened was we had a break in the clouds, and that allowed temperatures to get up around 60 degrees. You can see that clearing coming out of northern Illinois, and then the storms formed right along the front edge of the cold front that was moving in actually from the southwest, and that's what triggered the thunderstorms. Now, as far as severe weather reports, we only had one in our viewing area. That was near Johnson Creek. 50-mile-per-hour wind gusts as well as pea-sized hail near I-94 and Highway 26. But there were some severe weather reports farther to the northeast into Wisconsin and then down to the south in northern Illinois. Right now, just a few showers here. The severe weather threat now across parts of Ohio back into Michigan, where severe thunderstorm watches are in effect. But the back part of the storm bringing snow over parts of western Minnesota still. It's starting to wind down there, but still cold enough for snow there. We could even see a few flurries of snow mix in with the rain showers before ending late tonight or tomorrow morning. Flood watch remains in effect until 7 a.m. tomorrow morning, mainly for the melting snow as well as any additional precipitation. Most of the heavier snow cover is confined to northern Wisconsin. We've melted a lot of the snow over the last couple of days, but even there, the water is starting to work its way into the rivers and heading southward. So river flood conditions are going to continue on for a while longer. Out to the west, blizzard warning still in effect for the eastern Dakotas and western Minnesota, and winter weather advisories around that. And we have wind advisories to our south where winds could gust to 40 to 50 miles per hour yet this evening until 7 o'clock. Notice the winds a little bit lighter in the Madison area, but farther to the south, these are sustained winds near 30 miles an hour across Illinois and near 40 miles per hour over western Minnesota, where winds are still gusting to 45 to 50 miles per hour. And in Chicago, notice wind gusts last hour to 48 miles per hour. Temperatures, though, have really fallen in the wake of that cold front. We were at 59 earlier. We're now at 39 degrees. Temperatures are in the low to mid 30s out to the west in Minnesota and Iowa, and that cold air is heading in our direction. Live view from the Queen Bee Radio Skycam in Platteville. Looks like they're getting a few showers there. WISC Skycam also showing some raindrops on the camera lens, so we're getting some rain showers here. Edgewater Skycam downtown Madison. You can see the ice starting to break up on the southern end of Lake Mendota, but still plenty of it out there. Our high today, 59. The low temperature is actually the current reading of 39. Right now we're at 39 with light rain showers. The wind chill at 33 with a west-southwesterly wind at 8 miles per hour. Forecast includes that flood watch until 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. Look for skies to be mostly cloudy for tonight. We'll see a few scattered rain showers. Might mix with a few flakes of snow toward morning. Low temperature dropping to 34. Tomorrow, a windy and colder day. Some rain and snow shower chances early. Then we'll just see mostly cloudy skies with a high of 39. On future track, you can see the scattered rain showers mixing with snow late tonight as temperatures drop into the middle 30s. Tomorrow, might see a little bit of sun late in the afternoon with high temperatures in the upper 30s. Tomorrow night will turn partly cloudy with low temperatures dropping into the mid 20s. And Saturday, we'll see some sunshine, highs in the mid to upper 30s. Might see a couple of flurries late Saturday night. But as we look at the 10-day forecast, the good news is starting basically from tomorrow afternoon going all the way through next week, you can see dry conditions, maybe some showers and thunderstorms toward the end of the following week.
The Badgers know their opponent at the Big Ten men's basketball tournament tomorrow, and it's not the team you might think. The story's coming up in sports.
Hi, I'm Michelle Carolla. Tonight on the news at 9, we'll update you on severe flooding across southern Wisconsin with team coverage. It's first on Fox at 9.
The Badgers know their opponent in the quarterfinals of the Big Ten tournament tomorrow. It's Nebraska. Yeah, not Maryland, Nebraska. The Cornhuskers have only 8 players in uniform, 6 on scholarship, but they are a gritty bunch. James Palmer Jr. scored 34 last night against Rutgers. He put up 14 more in the first half. Nebraska up 32-20 at half. Maryland closed within 5 early, but then look at Palmer. Just kept making plays. A double pump left-hander. He had 24 today. Final score, Nebraska with 8 guys, 69, Maryland 61. So it's Nebraska and Wisconsin tomorrow afternoon at 2.
A lot of teams would just say, what's going on? We got 7 guys. There's no way. And they'd quit. I mean, not just say I quit, but they would, they just wouldn't do those things. So I think that is probably, that mentality is the thing I'm most proud of. We are who we are, not who we not are.
Nah? Well, it's Wisconsin and Nebraska around 2 o'clock tomorrow in Chicago. The teams split their games this season. Excuse me, I wrote that for the Maryland thing. Wisconsin won at Nebraska. That's what I meant to say. We'll see what happens on the neutral court tomorrow. The Badgers will again rely on their defense, which is 8th in the nation in fewest points allowed. The funny thing is, the Badgers didn't have 1 player on the Big Ten all-defensive team, yet have a great defense. Ethan Happ says there's synergy.
It's not like we have one, if they have a really good player, it's not like one guy's going to lock them down the whole game. It's going to be a whole team effort. And it's all about trust for us, knowing that you might have to leave your guy to help out someone else, but you know that someone else is going to be there to rotate over. So, yeah, it is definitely, I guess synergy is a good word for it.
In the first game of the day in Chicago, Ohio State held off Indiana 79-75. Caleb Wesson returned from suspension to score 17 points and grab 13 rebounds. Ohio State moves into the quarterfinals. The Buckeyes will face Michigan State tomorrow morning at 11:30. The 104th WIA State Boys Basketball Tournament is underway at the Kohl Center. It starts with the Division III semifinals this afternoon. Waupun keeps its great season going with a win against Freedom, 60-43. Martin Luther beat Northwestern in the other semifinal, 96-61. So it's Waupun and Martin Luther in the Division III final tomorrow. New Glarus plays at State for the first time in 87 years. They'll tip off in Division IV semifinals against the top seed Ron Colley in about 10 minutes at the Kohl Center. Lord's Academy and Osseo Fairchild, the other Division IV semifinal tonight. And the Oakland Raiders have released wide receiver Jordy Nelson. Last December, Raiders gave Nelson $3.8 million to help with some salary cap issues, and head coach John Gruden said Jordy will be back, but today the Raiders cut him. Nelson spent 9 seasons with the Packers but stays in Oakland for only 1 season. You know a professional team in Wisconsin can use a wide receiver?
I think he might be a good fit with the quarterback.
But they say it's probably not going to happen because they signed Geronimo Allison and he may retire. But you never know.
We've learned a lot that these guys say one thing and then, like you mentioned, a week later it changes.
Kind of like people.
Yeah,
in general.
Definitely in
Maybe
the
you can go to the
NFL.
Bears.
Yeah. Ooh.
No, that'd be awful.
Need an aging wide receiver? Yeah, good.
Any kind of wide receiver.
Yeah,
well, let's take a look at the rain showers that are out there. Just pretty light. They're moving through pretty quickly, but the temperatures have really dropped off, down to 39 in Madison. It's even colder out to the west. Flood watch remains in effect until 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. And as we take a look at the 10-day forecast, the good news is dry weather for much of next week.
Gary, thank you. Thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 6.
Enjoy your evening, and we'll see you back here at 10.